Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy X. So we have just made it back from Mount Gagazet after collecting 10 of every enemy, and for collecting 1 of every enemy, you get the key item, the Blossom Crown. So that's unlocking the behemoth, which we're going to run away from. But we also managed to capture every underwater fiend in Gagazet, which makes him create a unique creation that we're able to battle. Again, we're way too underleveled at this point to take this kind of a guy on, so we're gonna either just wipe or try and escape. But it's still nice to get an extra 30 mega elixirs. Like, never say no to a mega elixir. They're quite good. But yeah, the Blossom Crown and the Flower Scepter are the 2 key items that we need to unlock one of the last special aeons in the game, those being the Maga Sisters. However, we're not able to even though we have the 2 key items, we're not able to go near their chamber until we've unlocked a second unique aeon. So we've unlocked Yojimbo, which is one of the requirements. We also require unlocking another aeon, and then those 2 other items. So there's like a 4, barriers to entry there. But we are going to be returning to Remien Temple because very unique oversight, because with Wakka we need to play Blitzball to get all of his overdrives and his sigil for his celestial weapon. And as I was showing you guys, once you kind of get into Gagazet, you can't play Blitzball. Like, none of the save points in Gagazet will allow you to play Blitzball. But for some reason, you're able to activate Blitzball from the save point outside Remien Temple. Not sure if it's an oversight or why that's the case, but this zone seems to just be literally outside of the rest of the main game's timeline. But as you can see here, even if you have the 2 items, the door won't even allow you to unlock its power without having that extra secret aeon. But we are able to battle Belgamine, and I'm going to show off the fact that since we upgraded the celestial weapons last episode, namely Nirvana and the Spirit Lance, Valfor and Ixion both can break the damage limit, and we're about to see Ixion completely own Yojimbo. And yeah, so to get Yuna's sigil for her celestial weapon, we basically have to defeat all of Belgamine's aeons, but obviously we have to first unlock all of those aeons ourselves to then have Belgamine have them to be able to fight them. So again, might seem simple, but Yuna's is one of the more time-consuming sigils to get, even though it's one of the ones that you're kind of like, you're more than likely going to get it anyway because you want to collect all the aeons anyway. Whereas, like, do you really want to try and get 0 seconds in that Chocobo race? Probably not. But, or do you, in relation to other superfluous challenges that are time consuming and don't have much reward other than just the sigil, like the lightning dodge challenge. And there we go, 33,000 damage. And that's the thing, like, a lot of the earlier aeons are actually quite powerful because they're quite high magic, but they're just nerfed because they can't break over 9,999 damage.
You have. Take this.
8 shadow gems, thank you very much. But yeah, we need to return here with the 1 other aeon, challenge that, and then we can unlock the Maga Sisters, which will be all of the aeons unlocked. Now, earlier, you'll recall back to like the Operation Mihen days, I started a Blitzball tournament to unlock attack reels, got absolutely wiped out, so I just had to basically click through and just end this tournament, because obviously we're still, out of the game, so We just have to basically have it conclude. And then we're going to now redo the tournament. But, and this is something I kind of didn't really remember. I thought resetting the data would work. But basically with tournaments, you just have to keep going in and out of the menu multiple times. I didn't do this. But before then, I started just a blitzball match to show the basic rundown of if you have this team and use this general strategy, you're able to basically win nearly all blitzball matches. It's not like the proudest way, but it is just the least stressful, least like getting to like near the end of getting your sigil or getting your new overdrive and having to redo an entire league over again. But basically, Brother is going to be the absolute linchpin. He's going to be in midfield. He's going to always be catching the ball. He's super fast, super high shoot, super high pass. And basically, once the game starts, more than likely Brother's going to get the ball to start. You're going to swim bottom left to right, doesn't really matter, but you're going to swim like diagonally over to the corner. And then you're going to pass the ball to one of your other backliners. But again, just showing how fast Brother is. Like, he's literally able to like go whatever direction he wants. And this is foolish me not remembering how to enter the like shoot mode. I kept going into like the movement menu, but I was like, no, I want to just pass. But basically, you'll recall back when we got on the airship first, you're able to recruit Brother up at the in the cockpit driving the airship. But yeah, you want to just pass to your backliners, and like in the first or second game, you can just be passing backwards and forwards because your backliners gain EXP for every pass they do. But since we're a bit leveled up now, we have Tedious, we have the jet shot, so you can just score an absolutely early goal. And then it's just a matter of getting the ball back onto Brother. And then there's a little glitch in Blitzball where if you swim behind your goalkeeper, the AI can't find you on the map and they won't be able to actually swim near you, so they'll just go back to their default positions and sit there until the match ends. You know, is it going to be the most graceful win? No. Are you going to consistently win every single game? Yes. Once again, so there's Tedious, not the best striker, but that's why we want to get Brother in with the midfielders. Or not the Brother being the midfielder. Going to get with the defenders, but yeah, super easy. And if you're able to get far away enough, you are able to just, again, pass with absolutely no fear from the other team interfering. He's such a high bag 14 pass, you could literally pass across the field if you wanted to. And then you just swim and sit behind keeper until your first 5 minutes are up. And then if you want to get an extra point for Tedious, you can just shoot towards the end of the 4th minute and he'll get a point of experience for, again, attempting a shot on goalie. And if you want it to be a lot more like in the early levels, you can just do passing between your midfielder and two defenders, getting them super high levels. So even if an enemy does kind of come with a high shoot, going to attack, their strength can tackle the ball away and get it back to your characters to then pass and hide behind the goalie again. So there's a big benefit to just passing back and forth the entire first half and then trying to jack shot the second half of the match. But yeah, so this, I basically reset the data and I do get attack reels without Brother. That's because I thought I had to reset the data to get the tournament to come back. I didn't necessarily need to do that, but basically once we beat Zanarkand, we have access to the airship, and then we're able to recruit Brother again and again. So what you're able to do then is while you're in the airship, just keep doing a league, doing a tournament, and then reset the data, recruit Brother and Wakka if you want, and then you don't have to be waiting or doing an entire league to reset the league or get another tournament or what have you. So I just kept this in just to show once you have Brother, you can just follow these particular steps and just keep winning every blitzball game you're in. But I do get attack reels. I did that off camera because it's just multiple blitzball games that really you're just doing the same strategy. You're just cutting it all down. So I didn't see the point in keeping it in. But just if people are struggling, because I know this is one of those sigils that can cause people a bit of bother. But just because if you don't have the right players or the right kind of idea on how to play blitzball, you just can't do it. But again, even with just literally getting the ball past Mattias, he has such high shoot that, here's another goal. Even if they manage to somehow get a goal, we're still 1-up, we're going to win the match, But again, this guy gets the ball, he's coming up against Brother, the absolute blitzball fiend. And yeah, I just basically wait to the last second and then you can just shoot with Brother and he'll even get more experience for the end of it. And then as your characters level up, they're only going to get more and more better. And since you see you're hiding behind the goalkeeper, none of their other players are actually getting experience because they're not tackling, they're not shooting, they're not passing. So your team is capable of exponentially growing in levels while every other team you're against is literally stagnating, which is brilliant. So again, we had one win. We have to get basically through 10 matches. I do that off screen. But sorry, we're trying to get to the tournament, but since we lost the tournament, we have to technically go in and out of the blitzball menu like 10 to 12 times and it should reset. But I thought I had to reset the data, which I do, and then a tournament doesn't appear. So basically what I was supposed to do was just go in and out of the blitzball, like the saves, go out to the save sphere and go back in multiple times to make the tournament go from not accessible to accessible. So that was just my lack of understanding, but let's just do that. Go out of the menu, go to play blitzball, and if you do that more than the number of times I did without resetting data, you can do a new tournament, basically. But when I figured that out, I realised, that was a bit of a gobshite. Should have just kept Brother in the team. But I do manage to get attack reels without Brother. So it is possible with the basic Auric team. And here I'm just showing off attack reels, what it looks like. And if you basically get the loner ability, the Overdrive will charge every time you're in battle by yourself. And so at higher levels, when we have much better equipment and higher stats, this can be a really quick way to just melt through bosses if you manage to get the 6-hit combo, which will then turn it into a 12-hit combo. And one thing that's really cool is that if you actually get the first 2 slots, you can wait out the timer and it will always end on a third, 2-hit. So if you're stressed about trying to get the third 2-hit, you can just time out the timer there. But we're finally going back and collecting the Albhed Primer that I missed. But if you guys are following along and heard me say where I was, you might already have this already. But here it is. And here's me struggling with 4 times speed and just trying to get to the right spot to pick up the book. There we go. Only one more primer to go, and that is going to be in a secret location we can only access at the end of the game. But yeah, Sun Sigil, all the different crests, and the Blossom Crown, Flower Scepter, and then just one more Albhed Primer, and we are good to go. But now, back to continuing through Mount Gagazet. And what's super handy is that we've captured all the fiends. We're over-leveled. We literally have absolutely no reason to have any encounters whatsoever. which is super handy. Now, what all we have to do is that you run back to the underwater area, and there's a couple of little puzzles we have to sort out in order to be able to progress further through the mountain. But like, I just want to again just say a huge thank you to all the guys and gals that have been tuning in, following this series. Like, we're finally making it to Zanarkand. Like, this is like the beginning of the end, really. And I just want to thank all you guys' support, all your likes, all your comments, all your views. Like, it really does just mean so, so much. And I do kind of hope that, like, at this stage of the game, people are kind of like, okay, well, like, we did get like an awful lot of the collectibles done. We got like, you know, where we didn't miss any missable Albhed Primers or anything. And I'm hoping that I'm kind of showing, you know, all the different things that you're capable of getting and doing kind of before the quote unquote end game, which is when you get to Zanarkand. Like, you can actually get an awful lot of stuff. You can backtrack. You can find an awful lot of really good gear and equipment if you just kind of have the patience just to, um, you know, capture every fiend all the time and you know, give into those like OCD tendencies. But um, yeah, like, I'm just super proud of like the progress I've made, and I really do think I have the possibility of actually getting every achievement. Because kind of when you start these like ambitious challenges, you're like, oh, like 100% everything else, but you know, I have actually gotten and progressed quite well through the game, and this has been my first time ever kind of stat maxing or trying to get the sphere grid like perfect. So again, I'm looking forward to that, and it's you guys that watch and tune in that kind of keep me focused on that goal, which I just want to be really thankful and appreciative for. Now, one very handy way to know this puzzle is just to know your characters on the sphere grid. It's literally Riku's green on the sphere grid, Tidus is blue on the sphere grid, and Wakka is orange on the sphere grid, so that's where you send them. And then if you swim back the way, you're able to find another treasure chest. So those were the two treasure chests we saw overlooking the other direction. So we collected those. And then if you run back to that area where you went down to the underwater area, there's like those little boulders are basically in place there, and you can collect this other treasure chest here. And what's interesting is when I tried to equip the recovery ring, you're obviously still in that underwater section, so the party is like shut down to like only Wakka, Riku, and Tidus. But again, swim all the way back to where you first hit the rings with the ball, and there's another treasure chest for you there. A level 1 key spear. Seems like a million years ago when we were in our Let's Play and we were trying our best to like get Kamario into Riku's grid, and we were making sure we killed the Chocobo Eater in a particular way, and like, yeah, just we've been through a lot, guys.
They'll be upon us soon. She has sent fiends to test our summoner's strength.
Who is she?
Unaleska.
Lady Unaleska.
In Zanarkand, she awaits the arrival of the strongest.
She is still alive?
As much as Micah and Seymour.
I see.
Lost your nerve?
No. Nothing frightens me now.
Braska would be proud.
Then I must not let him down.
I think it's one of the first times Yuna and Oren like interpersonally spoke. Just the two of them, like.
It comes!
So here we have the Sanctuary Keeper. When in doubt, haystack it out. But great items to steal, and we're just going to make sure everyone gets a turn. So, Dark Touch, why not? Now, we introduce ourselves to a new status condition. So, first of all, they have like loads of status conditions right now. But what's super handy is that we have Yuna with the Asuna. Keeping her in the back was a good choice. But since Roxas has also been like meandering down Yuna's grid, Roxas can white magic and Asuna Riku. Now you might notice we're still glowing like or filtering black into normal. And so the reason for that is because we are currently cursed. Our overdrive gauge will not fill, and we cannot activate overdrives. Now, the way to cure this is either through the item Holy Water or the Dispel spell. But the risk of that is that if you have lots of positive buffs on your party, you'll be dispelling your protects, your shells, your haste, everything. But you will also dispel the curse, which is great. Now, this is what's terrifying. Yuna used Flare and it did like 5,000 damage. Like, Yuna should be doing max damage with like her kind of stats at the moment. And even with like a magic boosted Flare, Luna's only doing like maybe 2,000 more, you know? Crazy. But Yuna's able to tank up that hit. Everyone's had a turn basically, and so it's nearing, you know, it's done. Really, we're that powerful. It doesn't really stand a chance against us. Like, we could have had probably Ixion with an overdrive come in and just one shot, you know. But Yuna, you know, thematically, Lunaleska's sending, you know, to test her summoner's strength, and yeah, she was able to blast Holy and overkill the Sanctuary Keeper, the Guardian of Zanarkand. And we're free to move on. But obviously the sooner we get there, the sooner it ends.
No need. We reach the summit soon.
I know. That's why I want to stop for a bit. Soon means that there's not much time left.
Riku.
Fine. I'll think on the way.
Hey, come on, let's go.
We are. We're almost there, aren't we?
We've come a long way.
What's so funny?
You remind me of myself. Before, the closer I came to Zanarkand, the more I wondered. When we arrive, Braska will call the final aeon. He will fight sin, then die. I thought my mind was made up long before. But when I stood here, my resolve wavered.
Never would have figured. Legendary Guardians choke sometimes too, yeah?
Legendary Guardian. I was just a boy. A boy about your age, actually. I wanted to change the world too. But I changed nothing. That is my story.
Orin's like self-image of himself. Very sad. Like this kind of cool, confident, debonair guy, and he's like, I was an abject failure. I was a complete idiot. Don't respect me because I don't see the good in myself, you know? Now, that's supposed to be really cool CGI. Ruined city.
A city dead for 1,000
We
years.
just get green screen. Very sorry, guys.
A city I had to see see with my own eyes. The end of Yuna's journey. The last chapter in my story. My thoughts, they kept floating up and then slipping through my fingers. Slipping away before I could pin them down with words.
Yuna, I say no. If we go down there, then you'll... Riku, you're a true friend, and I thank you, but I must go. Down to Zanarkand. I'm not saying we shouldn't go. But shouldn't we think about it some more? There's gotta be some kind of way we can save you, Yuna! All my life, I knew this moment would come. Yuni... Thank you, Riku. Thank you for everything. Don't say that, Yuni. It's not over yet. Tell Sid, thank you. No, you can tell him yourself. Please. Yuni, don't say that because we're gonna see each other again, okay? Kimari, let's go.
And now we get a really cute scene with Unisphere. Way back on the Mihan High Road, and we watched the sunset together. She was secretly recording something.
Sir Orin, Kimari told me, when my father wanted me taken from Bavel to Besaid, it was you who told Kimari, right? I had always wanted to meet you someday. I am truly glad that I had that chance. Having you as a guardian was so great an honor. I don't know how to thank you. Perhaps, if I defeat Sin, that will be my thanks to you. That's what I'll do. Yes. I will challenge Sin. I will defeat Sin. If you are all there watching this, then I guess Sin is already gone. And so am I suppose. Anyway, I just wanted to say, Sir Orin, I thank you. Kimari, do you remember the first day we met? I was only 7. My father had defeated Sin, and all Bavel was celebrating. Everyone was saying what a hero my father was. I was so happy. But when night came, it occurred to me. My father had defeated Sin, and now he was dead. Now, I was all alone. I couldn't sleep. So I wandered into the town, away from the celebrating crowds. I stood on the bridge in Bavel, where my father and I had parted. Standing there, alone, I could see the fields where he had fought Sin. Then, you appeared, Kimari. You said you were looking for the daughter of Braska, remember? At first, I was so scared. Until I realized what a gentle person you are. You weren't used to talking to children. When I told you that I was Braska's daughter, you said you would take me as far from Pavel as you could. That it was the wish of a man facing death. I think I cried then, because that was when I knew my father was dead, and I would never see him again. You just held me, without saying a word. I cried after we got to Bhed, too. When you tried to go, after leaving me in the care of the temple, I held on to you crying, "Don't go, don't go." And you listened, Kimahri. You stayed. Kimahri, thank you. Thank you so much. And I've always liked your broken horn. Wakka, Lulu. I'll never forget my days spent with you, growing up in Bhed. We always played together, us and Chapu. That's why I was always so happy, I think. And when you refused to let me become a summoner, and I did it anyway, I'm sorry. I've always wanted to apologize. You know, when you tried to stop me then, really, I was happy. I could tell you really cared about me. You were like my big brother and sister. No, I think you really were my big brother and sister. What else? I love watching you play blitzball, Wakka. I even love it when you scold me, Lulu. Really. I guess that leaves the newest guardian. Star player of the Zanarkand Abes. You are. I am. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that we met. We haven't even known each other that long, but it's funny. So this is what it feels like. It's a much more wonderful feeling than anything I had ever imagined. Wonderful. But it hurts sometimes. I wonder. I just want to say thank you for everything. Maybe that's why it hurts. When I think about us never being together again at all. I'm afraid. No, I shouldn't say that. I'll do that part over.
What you up to?
So we interrupted her recording. And probably revealing true feelings of Roxas and Yuna. But now, this is it, guys. One quick walk, and we're back to where we started. Started in Zanarkand, and we're ending this episode in Zanarkand. Big revelations for those that haven't seen the rest of the story. But thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. See ya.